All right. Hello, friends. Welcome to this next tutorial looking at Starfleet 2 2.0. Today we're going to talk about just one section of the menu here. It's an important one. You'll use it quite a bit. It's the computer section, or C, under the main menu here. It's already highlighted. Now, there are a lot of things under here, but we're going to go through it relatively quickly. This is only going to be one entry. It might be a little longer than usual, but there's a lot here, but it's all very useful. So if you hit computer or C, you have a lot of things here. We're going to go through these in order. There's a lot to talk about. So first, combat stats. Right now, if there was an enemy in the system, you'd hit E, but there's no enemy, so there's nothing here. But if there were enemies, it would give you a rundown of the enemies here. Via Krellan, it tells you all the friendlies docked in your specific system. This is everyone right now who's in the system. As you can see, a bunch of ships, destroyers, a couple supply ships at the top there. Most of them are docked. There's one destroyer in orbit. But you can get a glance as to their power, their supply level, how they're doing, So that's very handy in a pinch if you need to get a slightly broader look at what's going on in your specific system, what kind of help you might have available, that sort of thing. The next section is information, which is I. There's a lot here, but it's very straightforward. So first, we have landing party. This is where you get, with L, all the information about the landing parties in the game. Now, right now here, we have 3. These are other people's landing parties. It tells you which planet they're on, how many crew they have, whether they're dead. Once you start putting down landing parties, they will be here. And the nice thing about it is if you hit enter, you get a nice little thing about landing party stats. It's not much going on now because they're just part of a base. And it'll ask you if you wish to go to where that landing party is. We're going to hit no with N because we don't want to right now. But it's very handy if you have a landing party that's done their job and you want to go pick them up. You select them from here, you check their status, and then you can hit yes to set a course and go there. Very handy. Nice little usability thing that's been added since Trevor started updating the program. So this is where you get info about all the landing parties in the game, yours and others. Planets. Right now we only know about a few planets. They are ours. See, they're all Krellan. And if you want, you can get information about the planet. You can look at the map. See all the cities. 16 cities. Okay, so back to computer. Information. Planets. No. Now, if you hit yes, if you hit no to the planetary map, you'll get an option to go there if you want to, which is handy, similar to the last function, similar to the landing party function. If there's a planet you need to deal with, you can find it on the list here, and you go there. We're going to hit no. But once you start discovering more planets and enemy planets and neutral planets, you're going to use this list quite a bit to move around relatively efficiently. It's a very nice list. Star systems, basically the same thing. Right now, most of the star systems are unexplored. That's why they have question marks. But it's relatively handy because you see right now, you see these are green here. So those are Krellans, so we have control over those. But see the other blocks, they're unknown right now. They will eventually start being filled in with UGA, neutral. Contested means there's a fight going on there, there's an invasion going on there, and the system will also be highlighted if enemy activity has been detected. So this is a really great place to get a kind of broad's eye view as to where at least you knew the enemy was, and you can go and seek them out from here. And you can also hit enter, and it'll transfer you the nav or the war map. It'll hit the nav map. As you can see, that system is selected, and from there we can use the regular navigation methods, targeter, and all that to go there. Very handy. Oh, wrong button. I hit F1 instead of accept. Excuse me. So where were we? Now we go back to computer. information. Now, bases. This is where you get a quick look at our bases, how they're doing, where they are, that sort of thing. And these are not our star forts. These are actual bases put on planets. And you can also make your own bases, as we saw in the teleporters tutorial, I believe. So once you make more bases, you can only see them. You can't select them. That's fine. Intelligence. Well, right now there's not going to be any, but once the mission is underway, you'll learn how many enemies have been destroyed, captured, that sort of thing. You can find out what the star bases that you've discovered are. Intelligence. You can hit. So what that means is, sometimes you'll capture a starliner, which is like a passenger transport. There are freighters and passenger transport. Freighters carry supplies and equipment. Starliners carry passengers, and they're not just like cruise ships. They carry workers and whatnot. So if you capture a starliner and you take captives from it, every now and then you will get the route for that starliner, and they usually go circuitous. It's a hard word to say. Circuitous, I believe, route with usually about usually three systems. And once you see that route, you can, if you haven't discovered a UGA planet, you will know where there is a UGA planet, an enemy planet, because it'll be on that route, and then you can go there and check it out for yourself if you want to. So that's what that means. No starliner routes on file, because you have to capture a starliner and interrogate the crew and the captives, basically. So that's what the miscellaneous thing means. The report gives you the intelligence reports for the region, the level that you're at. And right now we're at level 1 because I'm using my Altern, my lowest rank level 1 character. And this is where you can get a intelligence report of the sector. So like right now, level 1, there aren't going to be any warships, just freighters, that sort of thing. But you can also, every level, every rank is different. So this is where you can get this information. It's very useful. Very, very useful. So that's the intelligence section. And the reference library is basically a legend. It's very, so you can just know this is what all this is, blah, blah, blah. Oh, it's a scout. That's a freighter. That's the 5th Fleet headquarters. Don't worry about that right now. You can look at the map and it'll tell you what means what, with star systems. So very handy. You can also look at different things like Krellan ships. You can see they're different. You can see the different ships here. Very neat, right? If you hit enter, you will go through the different ships. So let's go to menu. Let's go to UGA ships. So right now, this is a heavy cruiser, for example. That's a light cruiser. Destroyer, frigate, scout, freighter, starliner. It gives you all the information about all these big guys. Starbase, orbital fortress, which you won't run into until you're an admiral. That's the big guy right there, the heavy cruiser. So from the reference library, you can get a lot of information about, the ranks, the missions, like here are the different ranks. Like you start off as an altern, you go through the ranks, and eventually you reach up to admiral. And then once you pass all the admiral missions, you hit Imperial Tribune. So this is a quick explainer as to what each rank gives you. And there's 5 missions per rank, so 35 missions in total. All right, so that is the information section of the computer. The next section is self-destruct. That's pretty bloody obvious. I'm not going to hit that button. I never want to hit that button. Special services, there's a few things here. Mission tally. That gives you a tally. There's nothing here because we haven't done any of the mission yet, but this is where you'll see how much you've captured, how many points you've gained, how many, bases you've planted, how many planets you've scanned, blah, blah. And that'll tell you how many slaves and Krells you've gotten from the mission so far. Pretty handy. Save is obvious. There's some shortcuts for saving, by the way. There's Control V if you want to create a whole new save game. And there's Control Q if you want to overwrite the current save game. So there's Control V and Control Q. These will all be in the manual as well. But again, Control V creates a whole new save file, and Control Q overwrites that save file. So if it's good during a mission to have multiple save files, like when something happens. So multiple points through the mission, you have multiple save files. So that's what, and the save, pretty much does the same thing, obviously. So career, this is where you get an overall look at your career. Right now, this is my altern that I've been playing. Once I finish the game, I'm trying to do a thing where I finish each mission in one attempt, and I'm still on that. So you need, you see this thing, progress toward battlecruiser upgrade. Once you reach 30,000 Krells, and I believe you can, I thought it was prefect. Maybe that needs to be changed, or sub-admiral. Huh. I thought it was prefect. Hang on, let me write a note. One second. Okay. Yeah. So I think prefects can get, but I'm not 100%. Again, we're in beta. Things can change. I thought it was prefect. It might have been changed to sub-admiral. Sometimes that happens when we have a discussion and something can change. So right now, when you reach a certain rank, you can upgrade to an upgraded battlecruiser, which lets you carry more shock troops, more probes, has more armor. It's really nice. You have updated probes, which we'll go into in another tutorial. So it's really a nice thing to have. But yeah, that's the career. So this is where you get your career. Jeez, hang on. You can see your entire career here in the career statistics screen. I'm on the third mission of the game, and so far I've scanned 21 planets. I've mapped 53 star systems. This is over multiple missions. You can see I've delivered 10 freighters and 3 starliners. Yeah. So this is where you get an overall look at how the campaign's doing. All right, and you have your settings over here, which allow you to change a bunch of things. You can turn your sound off. You can set the keyboard. Like most people use set B, but I'm weird. I have a 122 key keyboard with the side function keys. I got it basically because of this game. So I use Control A. You can change the warning color. You can turn practice mode on or off, which is an entirely separate thing. Have I explained? Oh. My cat's making a really weird noise. I'll have to go check on her in a minute. Practice mode is basically you can replay any mission you finished with no repercussions. It doesn't impact your campaign or anything. So sometimes you just want to fly around a mission and have a bunch of laughs, destroy some planets, that sort of thing. You can do that in practice mode. You should turn that on and off from the main menu, but you can also turn it here, and you can change a bunch of options here as well. You could turn off the engine sound, turn on or off the warning light cycle. Usually won't need to change this, but it's there if you want it. So those are the options. And then obviously quit. That quits you out of the mission. It takes you back to the main menu. And now we have the commander log, you know, which if you want to make a log about certain things like check out planet 2A, no 3, no 2A. Control S. Control S will save that, and then you can view the log, and it tells you, you know, it's very handy because you can see here, check out that, and it tells you when it happened. So that's pretty nice. So I believe, yeah, that is everything in the computer section of the game. Like I said, this is a little bit longer because there's a lot to go over here, but this is a very useful portion of the game. You'll be using the landing party plants and star system things very often. Also the bases. You'll be using these quite a lot in your travels. So that's going to do it for this entry. I want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you for the next one. Bye-bye.